Hi, and welcome to Cenario, your partner in mental wellness. Here on our channel, we share educational, insightful, and science-backed content to help you understand your mental health and take meaningful steps toward a more balanced life. If you're ready to learn, grow, and take control of your wellness journey, let's jump right in.
Hey everyone! Today we're diving into a field that is really changing the game when it comes to mental health, nutritional psychiatry. We're going to unpack the hard science behind the connection between what you eat and, how you actually feel. So let's start with a big question. Could the key to a better mood literally be on your plate? I mean, we all know mental health is incredibly complex, right? But what if a huge piece of the puzzle is something we do every single day? The evidence is piling up, and it's showing that our diet plays this massive and frankly often overlooked role in our emotional well-being.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to break down that science. We'll get into precisely how certain nutrients fuel your brain and which ones have the most solid research linking them to mental wellness. All right, let's jump right in. First up, the mind-food connection. Now look, things like therapy and medication are absolute cornerstones of mental health treatment, no question. But we're starting to understand that nutrition is another foundational piece of that puzzle. It supports how your brain works and helps build up resilience from the inside out. And we have to be crystal clear about this right from the start. Supplements are not a standalone treatment for serious conditions. This is not about replacing professional care. It's about adding another powerful tool to the toolbox, integrating this knowledge into a wider treatment plan with your doctor. Okay, so how does this actually work, biologically? Well, it turns out nutrients impact our brain through three main pathways. And once you get a handle on these, you'll see why even a small nutritional gap can have a really big effect on your mood.
First up is what's called neurotransmitter synthesis. Just imagine your brain is this busy factory that produces all the chemicals that regulate your mood. You've heard of them: serotonin, dopamine. Well, the raw materials to make those chemicals, they come directly from the food you eat. And the star players in this factory are the B-complex vitamins, B6, folate, which is B9, and B12. Think of them like the skilled workers on the assembly line. They're essential for putting together the very chemicals that keep our mood stable. Without them, the whole production line just grinds to a halt. Next, let's talk about managing inflammation and oxidative stress. This sounds complicated, but your brain cells are constantly under attack from these damaging things called free radicals. When that damage leads to chronic inflammation, it's kind of like a slow-burning fire that can really mess with your brain's delicate circuits. But this is where your brain's defense team comes in. You've got nutrients like vitamin C and E. They act as bodyguards, neutralizing those threats directly. Then you have vitamin D and omega-3s, which are like the firefighters, working to put out that inflammatory fire and protect your neural pathways. And the third pathway is neuroplasticity. This is just an incredible thing. It's your brain's ability to rewire itself. It's how we learn, how we adapt, how we grow, and a brain that can change and adapt is a brain that's truly resilient.
And you guessed it, certain nutrients are key for this whole process. Omega-3s help build healthy cell membranes so new connections can form. Vitamin D helps regulate a super important growth factor. And B vitamins, well, they support the birth of new neurons. Together, they create the perfect environment for a healthy, flexible brain. Okay, so we've covered the how, the three main ways nutrients get the job done. Now let's move on to the what. We're going to open up the mental wellness toolkit and look at the specific nutrients that have the strongest science saying they really work.
So, here's a quick look at our toolkit's all-stars. You've got the B-complex vitamins for building those crucial neurotransmitters. You've got magnesium for calming the nervous system, vitamin D, omega-3s. You see, each one has a specific, vital role to play.
Let's zoom in on omega-3s, because this is really important. They aren't all created equal. There's EPA and there's DHA. EPA has the strongest evidence for antidepressant effects, probably because it tackles that inflammation. DHA, on the other hand, is more about the physical structure of your brain cells. So for mood support, a higher ratio of EPA is often what you're looking for.
And then there's vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin. It's a huge regulator of both mood and inflammation. But what's really key to know here is that taking a supplement is most effective for people who have a confirmed deficiency. And that's actually pretty common, especially for those of us with limited sun exposure or certain health conditions. Okay, so now let's talk about turning all this science into action. Because this isn't about just guessing which supplements to take. It's about creating a plan that's personalized for you, that's safe, and that's actually going to be effective. We can even tailor our approach to specific needs. For depression, for example, the focus might be on nutrients that support those neurotransmitter pathways. For anxiety, calming minerals like magnesium can be a game changer. Now, this isn't a prescription, obviously, but it is a fantastic starting point for a conversation with your doctor. So here is the absolute safest way to do this. 4 simple steps. 1. Always start with the food-first approach. Get these nutrients from things like oily fish, leafy greens, and nuts. 2. Get tested. Don't just guess. Find out if you're actually low in things like vitamin D or B12. 3, and this is crucial, review your medications with a doctor, because some supplements can interact. And 4, work with a professional to find the right dose for you.
All right, so what are the key takeaways here? Nutrition isn't a quick fix or a magic bullet. It's a fundamental pillar of mental health. It's about giving your brain the essential building blocks it absolutely needs to thrive. Ultimately, the science is clear. What you eat directly impacts your brain's health and its function. So the question I'll leave you with is this. Now that you know this, and knowing your brain is your most important asset, how will you choose to fuel it?
Thank you for watching Cenario. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For personalized mental wellness supplements, visit Cenario.com. See you in the next one.